Good evening. There is a group of young Zimbabweans that need to man up and begin to lead. Shamis, I won't take you anywhere. If you follow my channel, you will discover that I have entered a stage of opposing the opposition and exposing the lies in the Triple C. That it is essentially an organization that serves the interests of the Harare elite, that create a make-believe that there is an Idim Nangago and ZNU-PF that we are going to remove, when in actual fact they are aiding and enabling the regime more than anybody else in Zimbabwe. In the meanwhile, the young people are suffering, caught up in drugs, while it's the looters loot every week. And I've explained that these looters, this new elite, is actually government workers, government officials who just got a job through making a CV. And once they got the job, they colluded amongst each other to work against the general public of Zimbabwe. And it is a shame that these young people who are in their early 20s are lost to drugs because of hopelessness, hoping with the chete, when what I can tell you, what is going to come is nzara chete. Mutaura nzara, and you only take mutoriro to try to get out, but there is no getting out. Even in that mutoriro, you're going to meet demons that are going to make your life even worse until you make a decision and begin to lead. You know, I'm inspired when I see the Zimbabwean young people and I look at the world, because I study the whole earth, everything, all countries. There's no country that I don't study about. And I begin to see that in this global economic warfare, black men has been largely attacked by drug abuse. Drug abuse is not something that we like as black men, no. It's something that is pushed into us. But of course, just like any other temptation, we are the ones who allow that to happen because of the circumstances that have been created surrounding us. Zimbabwe is no exception when it comes to the weapon of drug. During the times of Robert Mugabe, we never had drug problems in Zimbabwe, hence we had very low crime rate. But now, with the emergence of this so-called Second Republic, which has got no interest whatsoever in the lives of the Zimbabwean youth, it has allowed the weapon of drug abuse to penetrate into our society. And right now, our young men are turning into zombies instead of becoming future great multinational owning millionaires and billionaires that I'm going to raise when I become president of Zimbabwe. I think it's time for us Zimbabweans to stop looking at these politicians as if they're going to do something. I've been telling you, politicians are colluding in Harare. Don't worry, ZANU-PF, Triple C, MTC, all those lawyers, they've all colluded to keep you out of the picture, out of the money. So for us as young people to succeed, we need to know that the very first point that our problem is Mnangagwa, ZANU-PF, and not only him, but also Chamisa. And when we lead a revolution, we need to take Chamisa out of it. You know that days Zimbabweans wake up from the slumber and realize that Chamisa is a stumbling block. That is when we're going to be free. As we can see these days, week in and week out, there's always a story, there's always something to keep your mind entertained. whether it's Sonkezo Chabangu or it's the recalls, or Chamisa is gonna do this next week, Chamisa has disappeared, Chamisa this and that. All of those things are to make you to be so preoccupied and trying to figure out, so how is Chamisa going to lead us? He's not going to lead us to victory. He doesn't want to. This whole thing of Songezo Chabangu and the recalls is meant to make his supporters to think that there is our president Chamisa, he's busy battling with Songezo. Once he's done with Songezo, he's gonna really show us a way forward. They won't. Okay, something else is gonna come up, which they plan. I don't believe this, guys. I do believe that Itimnankagwa, Chiwenga, Chamisa, and Swengezo Chabango, and what's his name? Welshman Ngube, and even Tendai Biti, all of them. I believe at some point they sit down somewhere, whether them or their proxies or their representatives sit down and plan how who so and so is gonna attack who. So and so, you're gonna do this, you're gonna attack Chamis. Chamis, you're gonna reply and say this, you're gonna say not this, Chabangu, you're gonna come up with an interim, all of those things just to keep you just to keep your mind busy. But your mind is busy with what? With hope that something's going to happen. But they know that they want to keep your mind busy with a false hope. And then the most sinful thing is when they say God is in it, putting the God in that sin. God is not in your sin, Mr. Chamisa. Please take my father off it. God is not in your sin. God is not in your deception. And I know that when I say something like this, most of Zimbabweans don't believe. It seems like they've been fed this lie and they've got no choice but to believe it. Hence, I always say that the majority will never take us anyway. We need people who really are hoku. And I think when the young people finally get out of Mtoriro, get tired of the drugs, get tired of the suffering, they will do something for their country. And one more thing that I need to tell you is that the reason why they do all of these things is to stop a real revolution. You see, there's this lie that the Triple C likes to peddle. The Triple C lie peddles this lie and deception that Chamisa is a man of God. He doesn't like violence and he doesn't want to put young people or his followers at risk. Blah 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 nonsense. All of that is said so that there will be no public demonstrations in Zimbabwe. Because ZANU-PF knows that the moment 100,000 Zimbabweans take over Harare, it will go. They know that. They all know. Everybody in the world knows that. Listen here. Don't be afraid of the Chinese giving arms to the Zimbabwe military. What are they going to do? Shoot 100 million defenseless civilians. That will trigger an international dispute that will allow even the United Nations to send in military forces against against the Zimbabwean military, and that will effectively remove ZANU-PF from power. That is the most effective thing to do to remove Eddie Mnangagwa from power. He knows it, Chamisa knows it, and he uses Chamisa so that Chamisa will keep the real revolution at bay. So with Chamisa in charge, they are hoping that Zimbabweans will never get that angry and end up doing that. Because they know that once all the Zimbabweans, we don't even need all, talking about 100,000, how many police people, how many police officers are there in Harare that are used to beating up people? They beat up people because there will be 20 people protesting, there will be 50 or 100. Can they handle 1,000? Can they handle 10,000? Can they handle 100,000? How much people fill the National Sports Stadium in Harare? Is it not 50, 60,000? So if every time there's a football match, that stadium can be filled, why doesn't those 60,000 people plus the 40 other thousand go to the street of Harare and demand Itim Nangagwa to go? And let's see if if the Harare police has got enough police officers to beat up people, and let's see if the Zimbabwe military has got enough military weapons to bomb 100,000 Zimbabweans in Harare who are demanding their freedom, then they will see on that day that they are not the military, they are not the intelligence, they are not the police that has got all the power in the world. There is other greater powers at play with interests of setting the country free. Holy is God. Mirror aside Chamisa and let the Holy Spirit do what he wants to do. For if you do not mirror aside Mr. Nelson Chamisa, God is going to start with you. Or send this message to Nelson Chamisa that I have stopped touching ED. ED in the Petrana, I've got too many videos on ED. Chamisa, you are actually the cancer in Zimbabwe. You are actually the problem in Zimbabwe, a diabolic problem, because young men and older Zimbabweans believe in the vision of Nelson Chamisa, believe God is in it, even though I know that God is not in it. And you take that hope and that belief and go and sell the revolution to Idi Mnangagwa and the Harare elite so that we can carry on looting and eating. That is going to come to an end. The day marasta afunga zvokuita zvichaitika chete. The revolution of Zimbabwe is not going to come from the learned and the cleric. It is going to it will come from the downtrodden, the one that you least expect, the ones that you do not like, the ones that you think are crazy. I'm telling you, those young boys, after taking that in Mutorero, God is going to put something in their mind that will say, enough is enough. What are we doing here? We are supposed to be national leaders. This is witchcraft. Oh, yes. Do you know most of the drug addict is caused by witchcraft? I happen to know that. Witchcraft, which usually is state sponsored. Are you surprised? Yes, there is state sponsored witchcraft. I know it. I know what I'm talking about. It causes these young men who have got bright futures in Zimbabwe to start taking drugs. The whole idea is if you kill the future generation with drug addiction, they don't have the time, therefore, to think strategy, to think economy, to think business, to think building the country. They are just thinking about where do I get the next hit. That's what is at play. But they think they are finished, but they do not know the plan of God, and they do not know the power of God. God is able to transform, to take all those drug taking young people and heal them quickly and impress them with something that ZANU-PF and Triple C cannot understand or comprehend. Because tiri kurwa hondo panapa, and hondo yacho need us to be mentally sharp, to stop being lied to na Chamisa. First of all, ED knows we know he's lying to us, but Chamisa is writing on that. Chete chete. And I always say that that chete chete thing, that it's meant to block any other real revolution so that everybody's looking at Chamisa. But they know that Chamisa is not going to do anything. And then they'll say, oh, he's a pastor. What pastor? I am a man of God myself. I'm telling you, for Zimbabwe to be free, stuff got to happen. There's nothing like, hey, Chamisa is a peaceful for what? The devil will never peacefully give you freedom. The devil does not give freedom on a platter. Jesus Christ said to go to Golgotha, he was violently done with for him to actually deliver freedom for all of us. So for Chamisa to say that no peace, he's lying. It doesn't work like that. It's supposed to be a theologian. Theologically speaking, there is a sacrifice that you need to give for freedom. And there is brave heart, there is a brevity that you need to have in order to actually attain that freedom. You can't be a CC like Chamisa who's so fearful and think that you are going to free Zimbabwe. You think ZANU-PF is just going to wake up in the morning and say, ah, haithanetha nokucontrola vanhu for 43 years. Sure, manje kuri kuita 44 years. Haizvanyanya, ngatipe maZimbabweans freedom. No, it doesn't work like that. They will have to be forced. And when you force them, you do things that brave people do, whatever they are. Ask those young boys who are taking Torero. They know what to do. And when the day comes when the Lord arises or arouses them in their spirits, steers them in their spirits, hapana demoni, hapana nehanda, hapana nyoka yekumalawi or yakabva kupi that will be able to stop the glory of God. It is coming gently. Oh, it is coming. Oh, you can take that to the bank. It is coming on that day. ZANU-PF is going to be small. Do you know small? It's going to be small. I tell you, on that day, ZANU-PF is going to be small. You're going to look at Iti Mnangagwa and you say, you Iti, is it you? Is it you who used to terrorize the whole country? Just like we're going to be saying to the devil in the last days, we'll be saying the same thing to Iti. Is it you? Is it you really? Really, really, the whole country was afraid of Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa na uraya. On that day, he will be brought to nothing. Him too and his wife and children. Because the Lord is coming to Harare. I always say, my message has always been consistent, that the Lord is coming to Harare. Go figure out what that means. Don't ask me what does it mean the Lord is coming to Harare. Go figure out yourself what it means when I say the Lord is coming to Harare. And when I say the Lord is coming, none of you can stop the Lord from coming. For the Lord is a spirit, and there's no telling where his spirit is going to come from or how his spirit is going to render or deliver freedom to his saints. Holy is the Lord. Holy is the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. He is already fighting a war in Israel for the survival of Israel. And let I tell you something for nothing. He is not stopping in Israel. He is also coming to Africa. And Zimbabwe will be free. Holy is God. My name is Ngobani Zondo, and I am running to be president of the Republic of Zimbabwe. To stop the loot, to stop the crime, to stop the lies, to stop the pain. Hold on, my people, for a deliverer is coming from Mount Zion. Have a great evening.